Yeah, I'm back. First time in, 2 weeks, thereabout. Um, Sorry. Well, it's been about 2 weeks since the last update. Not for lack of effort, but more that my previous efforts last week were thwarted. And are you really gonna do this to me? Anyway, sorry. I thought I heard the cat approaching her water dish to start pawing at the carpet again. Um, so anyway, yeah, a few things have happened since the last update. Uh, Number one, if you were here for the last update, I'm pretty sure that was before the storm. Um, Thankfully, my particular city was spared any major damage. I don't think we even got any hail that night. No tornadoes. I know we had gotten some rain, but yeah, all in all, we actually fared pretty well compared to a lot of the other areas around here. I know regionally we had probably about a half dozen tornadoes, um, primarily to the south and to the east of us, but I'm grateful that we didn't get hit, selfish though as that may sound. So, I gotta be honest, I wouldn't even know where to begin with recovery and rebuilding after that. Um, if we did get hit, but we didn't, so I'm not gonna worry about it right now. Anyway, on to the big news currently going on. I had an appointment with my therapist yesterday morning, Friday morning, and after a discussion with her, she's going to update my letter of support and submit that to the proper channels, which will now satisfy the requirement that my insurance company has for my gender affirming surgery, which means that pretty soon here I should be getting a notice from the clinic saying that yes, I have been approved and my surgery can be scheduled. And I've been waiting for this for how many years? I mean, I started on this path back when Biden first got into office. So that gives you an idea of just how long it's been. Not to say that that I'm expecting sunshine and rainbows from here on out, but I'm just glad to finally have this one obstacle that I've been staring down for so many years. It's finally about to be tackled and conquered. So really looking forward to that. So there's that. I mean, been wanting to get that surgery since since I was a teenager. So a little overdue, don't you think? But yeah, I'll keep you updated on that when actually does get scheduled, and I can provide more in-depth looks at what the process is like between now and then. So anyone that's curious about that, I'll be doing my best to keep things current. If I fail like I did previously. Yeah, so my last two updates, I tried doing a video on Monday morning, I think it was, and then on Tuesday morning, and both ended up as massive failures. The first one, the Monday morning one, I probably could have uploaded that one, but I kind of just hit a mental wall after about 15 minutes, and it just felt so incomplete, and I had nowhere to go from there. I just couldn't think of anything else to talk about, and so I just pulled the plug, scrapped the video altogether. Then Tuesday, well, I was full of ideas of what to talk about, and well, about 20 minutes in, my meds kicked in. You know, that's the thing with my HRT is the, uh, the timing of progesterone kicking in is so random for me. Some days it'll take a half an hour to kick in. Other days it'll take 2 or 3 hours to kick in. It's just I never know. It makes things fun on Wednesdays when I go to my electrolysis appointments because, well, they're about an hour and a half after I take the pills, and quite often they kick in in the during that time when I'm driving from here to the electrology place, and yeah, things get a little tense sometimes when I'm approaching that final stoplight, and I'm like, okay, I'm barely awake now. Gets me a little worried, a little worried that I'm gonna, fuck things up somehow majorly in the future. But if I don't do that, then I'm just gonna forget about taking it altogether. So, yeah, what else have we got going on? I unfortunately have had to keep Trish in another onesie for the past week now. She might be ready to come out of it. I don't know. But, see, after my appointment with the vet, um, he looked at her scabs, the ones on her shoulders, and told me that it really was not likely anything to worry about. So he just told me go ahead and keep it covered, keep her in a onesie, just let it heal. Well, I did that last week, and after about 5 days, scabs seemed real small, everything seemed all right, and I let her out of it, and within 2 days, those scabs were back, except they were even bigger than before. So I can't, I don't want to take the chance again and let her out too soon because, well, she's going to wind up back where we started once again. So it's been 7 days now. I should probably just take it off today or at the latest maybe tomorrow. I'm sticking my hand, and feeling around her shoulders, and I feel a little bit of scab tissue left, but I really gotta be looking for it to find it. So I think she's gonna be okay. This is just my gut telling me this, but then again, my gut is usually off. It doesn't know what the hell it's talking about. So yeah, who knows? Yeah, surprised she's not up here. And usually she's all about, sticking her nose and everything and making sure that everyone knows that she's there. Well, I guess not today. Yeah. Hey, where are you going? That's really all I got for current events. I mean, it's been pretty routine around here lately. Guess I did have a little scare earlier in the week when I ran into my first wasp of the season. I hate that. That's probably my biggest issue. I think is those winged motherfuckers that are always trying to build their nests in and around your home, and yeah, every time I see one, I get freaked out. Not exactly a secret, but I don't usually advertise it. But here, who cares? Yeah, so I had decided to go to work, and so my front door, or sorry, my garage is connected to the condo, but there's no direct access to it. See it, see overall with the layout, it is actually a really narrow place. I mean, it's only about I want to say, God, where are we? Somewhere around 15 feet wide only. So basically, you got the width of a bedroom is most of the width of the condo. So now front to back, that's I measured it once. It was like 30 some odd feet. So I mean it still winds up being about 1,500 square feet. So not a huge place by any means, but for one person or even two people, it's enough. Um, but anyway, if you want to get to the garage, even though it's connected, the wall between the garage and the rest of the unit, that's where you have your oven and some counters. So there's you got usual kitchen appliances in the way. So anyway, if you want to get to the garage, you gotta step outside the front door, and then there's a side door that you enter in to get to the garage. It makes sense. Just kind of annoying to have to step outside and get your shoes on if you want to get something from the car. But anyway, it's when I'm step outside and I'm walking up and I spot out of the corner of my eye, I see this wasp, and damn fucker is just flying around checking out the door surface of the garage. Not the main door of the garage, the big one, but the small side door, standard size for one person. And it's flying around, just checking that door out like it's real interested. Don't know why, because there's no place suitable for food or a nest. Okay, well, whatever. So I stand there and I wait for a moment for it to fly away from the handle, and it just took forever. It just kept hanging out, freaking out because, well, I've always been deathly afraid of them, and there's possible childhood trauma explanation for that. Um, from what I'm told, I mean, I don't remember this because, well, I don't remember much of anything of my childhood, but I'm told that when I was really young, like maybe 3 years old, that apparently I got stung by one of them when I was in my grandmother's garden one day, and ever since then, I know it's been a lifelong thing where I'm terrified of wasps, yellow jackets, even regular honeybees, hornets for sure. Just anything that flies and has a stinger. I see it. I'm going the other way. That's just how I've always been. So that is unfortunately my my phobia. But yeah, so I kind of freaked out and I ordered some repellent that just arrived yesterday. Fortunately, I haven't seen any more signs of activity nearby. But it's hard to say if it really was just a one off or if there is something going on, and I just haven't seen it. Now in the past, there's been a lot of um, there's been a lot of activity in the past around this place by wasps, and what was it, the second year I lived here or third year I lived here, we actually had a nest got built directly above my fucking front door. It was one of those cases where I'm out there talking with my neighbor, and I don't even notice that they're around. But then she points out, she's like, "Oh, you have a nest up there." Like, oh fuck. Like, really, really, we're gonna go into that. So, and when it's an exterior thing, I still don't know uh, if disposing of those things falls under um, my responsibility as as a resident, or if it falls under the HOA responsibility because they're the ones responsible for the exterior of a unit. Um, anyway, I didn't want to take any chances, so I went to Walmart, bought a can of Raid, and I'm pretty sure I unloaded the entire bottle, the entire can, on that one tiny nest. It's probably about about that big around, so not huge, but there'll be a bunch of them in there. And I think it was the next year. Um, so the way that everything's set up around here, we have the front door down that way, and then we have the living room is right below us here, um, with a sliding glass door um, serving as an exit from the living room to the outside. Well, there's a sliding screen door as well, of course, and damn thing's tough to move sometimes. So I left it partially open, about maybe 2 inches. And well, the wasps decided to use that as an invitation to come in and build a nest on that overhang area where where we hang the doors off of that track area. So between the screen door and the sliding glass door, they built a nest, and I didn't notice it for a while until one morning the sun's coming in. I've got these vertical blinds, and they just you know, they're white in color, so you're gonna see shadows, and well, that's what happened. I saw shadows, wasp-shaped shadows on the blinds, and I look and I see that okay, yeah, there's a handful of wasps flying around, crawling on that space between the sliding door and the screen door. I'm like, well, fuck, and I look up, I see the nest hanging there. I'm like, shit. Off to Walmart I go, buy another can of Raid. This one becomes a little trickier because you gotta open one of those doors up to gain access so you can aim and spray the thing. Also don't want to do it so you disturb the nest. So I think I did that at night, and I just took aim, and I just unloaded probably half the can on that. I think it actually fell down from the force of the spray. So, but luckily I haven't seen anything since then. But I still get very much on edge when I see anything like that flying around, because I'm always thinking, is there a nest? Is there a nest? Is there a nest? Hopefully not. But I'm always one of those worst case scenario type of people. God, my voice is terrible tonight. I'm sorry. In truth, my throat hurts tonight. I think something got stuck in my throat when I was eating earlier. I was chowing down on some chips, and afterward I just noticed this pain in the back of my throat. It hasn't gone away. It's right down in here. I've tried several methods, things to get rid of it. I tried drinking stuff. I tried eating other things. I tried burping. I tried. That's about it. That's all I can think of. But yeah, the pain is just still there, kind of sabotaging my voice. Yeah, so that's everything going on currently. So, but how long have I been doing this today? We are at kind of 20 minutes. I got enough time for a little bit more. I mean, I don't want to make it too long, so I'm gonna just limit it to probably one, maybe two more topics. Then I'll let you go. Mm. Oh, oh, that flavor combination's bad. So, so all of a sudden I started watching a bunch of the old the X Men movies. I actually only got like three or four of them right now. But it inspired me to order the rest of the bunch. Even what was it? What was it? Apocalypse and Dark Phoenix, I think, were the most recent ones. Anyway, so tonight I wound up watching Logan, and it's been a while since I watched it. It's one I'll go back to from time to time, but there's an aspect to it that I actually find kind of disturbing, and this is just me because of my own experiences, not because of the content exactly, but more that I get reminded of things. Um, so if you're familiar with Logan, the movie, you know that the setting of it is a few years in the future, actually 2029, I believe it's supposed to be set in. And well, one of the things is, in addition to Logan being getting old and suffering from the adamantium poisoning, all that, you also got Charles Xavier. He's what was it? Was it Alzheimer's and Lou Gehrig's? I think they said he had in the movie. Well, anyway, what I find is with Patrick Stewart's portrayal of Charles Xavier in this movie, I find a lot of parallels, a lot of similarities between the character that he is playing in that movie and the, the sickly, very helpless old man that character that he's playing. I find a lot of similarities between that character and my own father in the days and weeks before his passing, which that's going to be the anniversary of that's going to be on Friday, this coming Friday. So yeah, I look at um, at old Charles Xavier, with the disheveled look and the way that he speaks and the inflection in his words and just the lines, the delivery, and everything. He's just and yeah, even even when he's lucid, the banter between him and Logan, especially early on, he tells him to fuck off and everything. Um, he just reminds me of my own father when he was getting old, when he was on his deathbed. Their looks were very similar. My dad had a little bit of his hair left, but you know, their builds are so similar. The beards were so similar. I was like, God, they just the similarities in their appearances were just kind of shook me. I was like, yeah, this feels so much like Dad when he was about to die. And I don't know if that's really something that I should look at as kind of you know, with a little bit of happiness, or as more of a you know, more of a please don't show this to me kind of thing. Just I kind of kind of flop back and forth on that. But yeah, in the weeks before his passing, my dad was he had he had one fear above all else, and honestly, I understand it all too well because well, I got the same fear, and his biggest fear was that he would lose his mental faculties before he died. Just become someone else and not know where he was or who he was or who anybody else was. And he he believed, felt that so strongly that he even decided to forego uh, certain medications, certain um, um, like increased morphine doses. Um, he tried that for like a day or two, and he said that it was just the most horrifying experience of his life because the uh, the, the added morphine actually made him hallucinate. Even though he was aware he was hallucinating, it still didn't help that much because, well, when you open your eyes and you see a fucking bear, you know, menacing around your living room, yeah, that's gonna fuck with you. So he endured that for I think 2 days before he told the nurse to you know, cut the dose back to what it had been. But fortunately, in in those days and those weeks before he died, um, he kept his faculties. He kept his personality. He was himself to the very end. So, at least as far as I'm aware, I wasn't there for the final few hours, but but when the day before he died, I was I was staying a little later than usual that day, but I was just about to leave, and he was at home. He decided to do hospice care at home, and that was all fine. Everybody visited as much as they could during those final weeks. The thing was, he was diagnosed with pancreatic cancer um, in early March of 2019, and he died middle of May 2019. So it was quick. It was really quick. It was what was it, 9 weeks from start to finish, from diagnosis to death. It was quick. He declined chemotherapy because it was already stage 4 at that point, so he decided not to prolong his suffering. But anyway, what I was getting to was when I was getting ready to leave. I was just about to stand up bid the family goodbye and everything, because I was gonna come back the next morning, like I always do. And he had been sleeping in his recliner, and he spent a lot of time doing that. He lived in that recliner. I mean, that was where he slept even before he got sick. A lot of that had to do with his back. He had a lot of spinal issues because of osteoporosis. Yes, men can get that too, but yeah, he wakes up from from a dead sleep. He just wakes up and he starts yelling out, what's going on? What's going on? What just keep asking what's going on? And I've never seen anything like that from him before. Just totally caught me off guard, so it freaked me out. My oldest brother, he took charge and he did everything he could to calm him down. They explained to him where he was, what time of day it was, who was in the room. He did a lot to calm his nerves and bring him back to the present. I sat with him for about half an hour after that. But I was kind of in a hurry to leave that night just because I'd been there all day. But I went to leave, and I called out, the same as I always did. I said, I'd see you tomorrow. His response was, it wasn't anything to affirm it. It was he responded, "If I'm still here." He responded, "If I'm still here." And this was around 9 o'clock at night, and I left. I went home. I stayed up for a little while before I went to bed, and it was about 7 o'clock the next morning. I wake up to a phone call, and it was my oldest brother, and for whatever reason, my phone was not allowing me to answer. I was hitting the answer button. I was swiping on it. It just would not register. He called twice, back to back, and I could not get the phone to pick up. Or no, was it? Was it? No. Sorry, it was the other brother, the youngest of the older brothers. I called twice, and the third time, the oldest brother called, and he notified me that he had passed during the night. And the thing was, when I left that night, and he responded, so with that with that phrase, if I'm still here, I just flippantly waved. I was like, yeah, whatever. You're too stubborn to die on us. Because that was a running joke that we had this whole time. Was that this family we are notorious for being stubborn, and I didn't expect that he was going to go downhill that fast and pass on. So I just waved as I walked out the door. Didn't really pay any mind that he answered that way. that was the last time we ever spoke. So yeah, but the fact of the matter was that even in those final days, you know, his appearance, and the appearance that Patrick Stewart had of Charles Xavier in the movie Logan. I mean, they were so very similar, and the and like I said previously, the way that he spoke, it was very similar. It was the same, the same tones, the same inflections. It just it felt it. I mean, apart from the superhuman, mind shit and all that, just it felt so much like almost like I was watching my dying father on screen. I don't know why I just talked about that, but there it is. I guess I just wanted to fill some airtime, some SD card time. And now you're up here. Now that we're at the end of the video, you're here, huh? Hi. Yeah, you're on camera, kind of. What? Oh, whatever. Sorry. Or if that would get me in trouble with the YouTube censors. Anyway, I'm gonna get off of here. I'm gonna go to bed now, take my gummies, get some sleep, hopefully get my voice back. Yeah. I'll talk to you later. Enjoy your weekend.